touched on the importance of the two bills.
Inhloso ke yaloku impunga lehloniphekile kubuthwako lokungemagugu alelive nemilando lemcoka yalo live kwenteke ngenhlelo embizo yakhona.
The minister also mentioned that the Kingdom of Eswatini needs to involve the youth on the development of the country through the use of research and technology. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkel Suekoza with Fumiko Sinsinisa, Eswatini.
The Deputy Prime Minister's Office, Eswatini Foundation, and as well as World Vision Eswatini have pumped in 4.2 million emalangeni towards the child-headed household project. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku says his office has injected 2.2 million emalangeni of the aforementioned amount.
The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku said this during the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between his office, Eswatini Foundation, as well as World Vision Eswatini, which benefits child-headed households across the 4 regions of Eswatini. The project will enhance livelihoods of 550 child-headed households through increased subsistence agricultural production. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku elaborates about the importance of the project.
This is a holistic approach. We're not just teaching people how to farm. We are teaching people how to live, how to behave in societies and communities, and that's a big responsibility. It cannot be taken by the office of the Deputy Prime Minister, Eswatini and World Vision alone. So we need these partners so that we can work together. What we're doing is we're bringing back dignity to the children. We are building self-confidence. We are cutting the dependency syndrome because, sending food packs there creates this false alarm, the false notion that you'll be fed by government every day. We're saying no. This project teaches people responsibility.
World Vision Eswatini National Director Tina Mukunda says poverty has a mental impact on less privileged persons.
We have introduced a model which we call Empowered Worldview. The Empowered Worldview is able to, it's a mindset model. It is a behavior change model. It works on the mental well-being of the targeted children that we'll be working with, and just making sure that they understand their identity, their worth, and they are able to appreciate themselves and also understand their dignity. Once we have been able to put them on that platform where they know that they are worth living, then we can then be able to initiate them into the livelihood initiatives that come with this project.
Eswatini Foundation Chairperson Sandile Smelane says the foundation will contribute 1 million emalangeni.
Because it is our responsibility to nurture these young children to be what we want them to be tomorrow. If we don't do that, we would have faltered in what the Almighty sent us to this world.
These funds will be used in tractor hire services, purchasing farm inputs and small stock scots for 550 child-headed households across the 4 regions of Eswatini. The child-headed household farming project was launched last year and has benefited 362 child-headed households across the country who are supplied with farm inputs, small stock scots, and tractor hire services to produce their own food. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Tandokuhle Mdluli Mbabane.
The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Princess Melane, has applauded the government of Taiwan for their continued support in Eswatini. The minister was speaking at Fairview, Manzini, when officially opening the Autism Center, which was built by Manzini Town Council in partnership with the government of Taiwan.
The Municipal Council of Manzini has built the first ever autism center, which will assist children with autism. Autistic children usually are left behind in education, and in some societies still do not understand autism. Some still hide autistic children. The structure, which has been officially built by the Town Council of Manzini in partnership with the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, was opened on Monday. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Prince Milani, speaking when official opening the structure, applauded the Republic of China, Taiwan government for the continuous support in Eswatini.
This is one of the most needed facility in our country, and it will provide relief to many parents and other stakeholders who are directly or indirectly affected by the issue of autism spectrum disorder. By spearheading this project, municipality has demonstrated that indeed it practices its organizational value of inclusion.
The ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan, Jeremy Liang, says social welfare is a responsibility, not a profession. Thus, everyone should play a role.
I'm sure that the center we launched today will play a significant role in fulfilling the need highlighted by the WAAD, while deepening the bilateral relations between Taiwan and Eswatini. Social welfare is not a profession.
The Manzini Town Council CEO Lungile Dlamini says autism is not only confined to Manzini, but countrywide.
The autism spectrum disorder begins in early childhood and eventually causes challenges, problems in functioning in society. Early recognition as well as appropriate therapy at the family level, school level, or rehabilitation center level may reduce most and some of the symptoms that would cause pain when they grow older.
Autism spectrum disorder is one of the conditions that are considered disabling in the country. Even though the prevalence has not been ascertained as yet, there is evidence that the numbers are increasing and the condition continues to affect the everyday functioning of the children in their communities. The center is a first of its kind, and it will be a means of intervention amongst others.
Nebelo office liphinda nankulu bayingcenyeke yalo msebenzi. Kanzike masipala utawuqasha abantu labatawusebenza kulesakhiwo banake bona bantwana ngesineke babeseke balayelwa emagumbi alesakhiwo ngemisebenzi yawo leyahlukahlukene. Enduna-ke yetindlu nemadolobha nenduna yetemfundo nambasada Liang babeseke bahlanyela tihlahla kulesi sakhiwo. Etinzabeni kubeka Giyani Msibi ngiseFairview kaManzini. The Deputy Prime Minister was also present.
Dear viewers, we apologize for those disturbances. The Ministry of Public Works and Transport has today presented Stephanuto Stokes to Matsanjeni constituency. Stephanuto Stokes will be the contractor responsible for constructing a tarred road from Mafastelo area to Ndlalane area. This was said by the Minister for Public Works and Transport, Ndlaluhlaza Ndwandwe.
The tarred road that will be constructed from Sitegi to Gamapungwane will be 7 kilometers. Minister for Public Works and Transport, Ndlaluhlaza Ndwandwe, has urged the people of Matsanjeni North to welcome the contractor with warm hands and cooperate with it harmoniously.
Lo msebenzi ke nakuhlunga kuhlunga ikhona inkampani letfolakele ukuthi ngiyona itawusebenza lo msebenzi le ligama lakhe kunguStephanuto Stokes. Umsebenzi nase uthuliwe emangweni usuka sosetandleni talo mango. Kulesikhathi nje batawube bala sebasakhamuti sala bonke kusebenta nekuphila kwayo contract sekulingene lo mango losephasi kwalenkundla le kuphila kwayo nako konke nekuphepha kwayo sekula esiveni sala eMatsanjeni North.
Matsanjeni North Member of Parliament Phila Buthelezi says the launch of the Mafastelo Ndlalane road construction is a big relief to his constituency. Buthelezi says the road becomes very muddy and slippery on rainy days.
Ngimenje lokusihleti lapha kwehla lomkhulu umthwalo namahlombe ngikuhlupheka lebesinako ngesimo semgwaqo ikakhulu kule stretch lesitolo Bebeka kulo 7.2 kilometers lokuphelele Ndlalane njengoba kube kwavela lokuthi kunenza kuthiwa Gangambula vele normal ngananyalo nje 30 minutes lo sesiteko nakata ufuna ukutekata ufuna alungele ukukhuphuka ngetinyawo
After launching the construction of the Mafastelo Ndlalane Road, Public Works and Transport Minister Ndlaluhlaza Ndwandwe toured the Ndlalane low-level crossing bridge, which cost 4.5 million emalangeni. Sifiso Nxumalo for Eswatini TV News. Images sourced from the Ministry of Public Works and Transport.
The House of Assembly has passed the Examinations Council of Eswatini Bill of 2020. The bill will see the formation of a council and as well as transforming the Examinations Council of Eswatini into a parastatal.
When the House of Assembly resumed its parliamentary business on Monday, the chairperson of the Ministry of Education's Portfolio Committee at the House of Assembly, who is also the Sandleni Nkundla Member of Parliament, Noah Gama, moved that the House adopts the report of the Ministry of Education and Training's Portfolio Committee on the Examinations Council of Eswatini Bill of 2020. Gama was seconded by Shiselweni Member of Parliament, Nokuthula Dlamini, on the matter.
Kubonakele kwapresenta ukuthi nawo itawuthatha ama-status okuba i-parastatal. Kubonakele ukuthi lenye inkinga bebafake i-issue ukuthi this is a non-profit organization. Bakhala-ke bahlolisha ukuthi no, kungeke kube i-non-profit organization le-pure noma mhlawumbe leme ngaleyo ndlela. It should make inamzana some profit. Ngoba lokho uma ngabe kukhona la ithola khona profit, that would definitely yehlise umthwalo kubatali in terms of examination fee.
Kutokwenda ukuthi CEO nelibandla lakhe ende konke lokusemandleni akhe kulamlela eMaswati ukuthi iexam yethu ingasa accreditwa le bo Cambridge. Mr Speaker, banfana bethu batokhona kukhona kungena straight kuma universities bangabe bendiswa ema bridging courses lasa acedze imali eMaswati. Mr Speaker, na ingaphumelela le bill, Mr Speaker, konke lokho kungalungiseka.
Members of Parliament then debated the motion.
Sikule simo lesikhona nyalo. Speaker, besephelele integrity sebangasayithela lokho ukuthi ngebe vele ngakhona yini ngokuthi ama exams lamanye asengibekise nje bantwana ba register ngalesikhwahlana eUnisa. Sekutawubithi asibasukela bahambe bawubhala khona ngale kanzi bebangakhona ukubhala ba supervisor ngule examination council lekhona lapha evela. So lokusho ukuthi kutaba nema positive spin-offs Mr Speaker in that batali nebantwana ngebasalahlekela isikhathi ngebasalahlekela imali solo behle benyuka because the council kutabe se kuyi-council yethenjako nale certificate letati khiqida kutabe ukuthi certificate letabe tesithenja Speaker.
The House of Assembly then adjourned the debate, whereas the House then constituted itself into the Committee of the Whole House, then passed the Examination Council of Eswatini Bill of 2020. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkal Suekoza with Muslim Konta, Parliament.
Mapilingo residents are struggling to fully utilize the 7.8 million Emalangeni water supply scheme by Eswatini Water and Agricultural Development Enterprise as they fail to pay 25 Emalangeni electricity units per homestead. According to Mapilingo Chiefdom Councillor Simpiwe Shongwe, around 500 homesteads benefit from the water supply scheme.
The 25 Emalangeni that is supposed to be paid by each homestead monthly is used by the water supply system to pump water for residents under Mapilingo. According to Mapilingo Chiefdom Council Simpiwe Shongwe, the homestead last used water from the 7.8 million water supply scheme in August this year.
Sesikusho sive bhutwami sikhuluma ngekuthi kungaba njani sisale sithola water. Okay, lesikubuka ke nala water njengoba ngishide ukuthi abafanani labantu ukhona labanganalutho sive ngazi ukuthi nabo batawo lekhona labatawo salele emuva solo lenhlupheko igcine ikhona ingapheli bona sebakhala ngawo ukuthi kunjani sale kulandva water imbe kungaba ngcono vele kulusizi kakhulu.
Eswatini Infrastructure and Water Manager Musa Masilela says starting from August this year, Eswatini will be connecting taps to each homestead as a mitigation plan.
We have a plan in our strategy which is already rolling. We have employed personnel who are going to be working with the water management unit in connecting the community members or homesteads to the system directly, not to walk the 200 meters I've mentioned. This implies that once you are connected, you will have your own meter and you'll be responsible for your own consumption. And by so doing, we will be able to isolate you if you haven't paid for your water. So this will ensure that the other people who have paid for their water resource are able to access water and they are not disturbed in the process.
Masilela also urges residents to cooperate with Eswatini as there are schemes that Eswatini initiated under Mapilingo Chiefdom, so residents should use those income towards the payment of electricity units. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, with Temikosi Mavimbela Mapilingo.
The number of drownings every summer season seem to be increasing in Eswatini. The Chief Police Communications Officer Superintendent Pindile Vilagati says the scuba divers also work hard to ensure that they retrieve those who drown. She was commenting on the 25th of July, which is World Drowning Prevention Day.
Every year, an estimated 236,000 people die from drownings globally, making drowning a major public health problem worldwide. Drowning is one of the leading causes of death globally for children and young people aged 1 to 24 years. Drowning is the third leading cause of an international injury death, accounting for 7% of all injury-related deaths. The 25th of July is a global day for the prevention of drownings. The Chief Police Information and Communications Officer, Superintendent Pindile Vilagati, says they've seen an increase in the number of drownings from the year 2020 to the year 2022.
Kuvamsile kakhulu kade ngalethi khasi labo September kuyofika kuDisemba ukuthi kube nabantu labasilahlekelako. Nasibuka nje ngasetinnombolweni tetfu eminyakeni wa 2020 saba nebantu labangu-41 labasilahlekela ngekucwila emfuleni nasemantini lehlukene etindzaweni lehlukene. Kwathi ngani 2021 takhuphuka kakhulu tinombolo njengaloku taveta 81 letareportwa emaphoyiseni ukuthi bantu bacwilile. Lo mnyaka ke lesikuwo sesivele sinaye 25 abantu labasilahlekele ngayo imifula nemanti. Singathi nje kuleti nombolo nasitibuka cishe baba bancane labagcina bangatholakali njengaloku sinabo cwephesha thina bekungena ekhatsemandini. Kube inhlanhla lembi ke ngalesikhathi lo muntu angasekho la khatsemandini uthola songaphasi mhlambe asisakhone ukufinyelela kuye noma ke vele uthethwe kumbe dilwane singacabanga kanjalo lapho sigcina singabatholi khona lothola ukuthi vele esikhathini lesiningi bancane kakhulu laba labagcina bangakatholakali. Singathi nje siyasicela sive nakulomnyaka ukuthi hawo asibafundzise bantfu bethu ekhaya ngekobhukusha asikugweme nathi sibadzala kuwela emifuleni naselinile litulu emanti sekadvungekile ngoba vele cishe ngito tintfo letisihluphako.
She says scuba divers work at their best to ensure that they retrieve those who have drowned. She urges parents to ensure that they never leave children out of their eyesight, especially during the summer season. She says they make it a point to educate the public on the dangers of crossing flooded rivers to both the young and the old. Reporting, I am Kian MCB, Manzini.
Old Mutual Eswatini has donated 5,000 malangeni to the Donate Bread campaign, which is an initiative for the Ila Penboy Foundation. This was during Old Mutual's launch of Educated Child Cover.
The Old Mutual Eswatini has joined other companies in supporting the Donate Bread campaign. This initiative looks to raise 10,000 shoes which will be donated to school children in need. This campaign is the brainchild of the Ila Penboy Foundation, widely known for building houses for those in need and also cooking food for children at various care points. The Chief Executive Officer for Old Mutual, Muzi Bell, says they chose to donate to the foundation because they are of alike minds in nurturing children to a prosperous future.
Bese sikhetha nje ifoundation le Donate a Bread lesiphathinarishe nayo sathi asi extend nje imali lelinganiselwa ku 5,000 emalangeni iyabambise ukuthi bantwana banga access noma ticathulo in one of the shops to the tune of that amount. Bantwana mhlambe labahluphekile tabe babunakele lokuthi vele laba banale tidzingo. So le foundation ke cishe siyibukile isebenta in the past siyabona singasibambisa kusheshe access
communities latitsingako ticatfulo njengebantfwana besikolo.
The founder of the Ilapen Boy Foundation, Sifiso Ndlangamandla, says their donation is a huge motivation. It will also ensure that the foundation realizes its goals.
This 5,000 will go a long way. Definitely more kids will get shoes from this 5,000. We appreciate Old Mutual and we hope other companies will copy this good act from Old Mutual and join the campaign so that all the kids in the country can go to school sharp, sorted and all good.
The COVID-19 pandemic had terrible effects on the country's economy as multitudes of people lost their jobs. As a result, most parents are struggling to look after the school needs of their children. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Thandukuhle Mdluli with Fortune Ndlangamandla. Babane.
Dear viewers, we now take a look at our financial updates.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Welcome back. You're still watching Eswatini TV, and for sports news tonight, Eswatini Football Association Chief Executive Officer Frederick Mngomedulu says regional football plays a key role in the development and success of the national teams at all levels. Mngomedulu was speaking during the Hub Utility Store sponsorship launch to Hoho Regional Football Association Under-17 League, where they injected in 30,000 malangeni for the 2022 edition. The sponsorship launch was held at Sukwata House in Babane.
In a process of developing football at regional level, Eswatini Hub Utility Stores has pumped in 30,000 emarangeni to the under-17 leagues under the Hoho Regional Football Association. Eswatini Football Association Chief Executive Officer Frederick Mngomedulu says that the success of the national teams is always based on how well the game of football is being developed at regional level.
Sibone ke ama-results bamahle kule tournament since yagcina kudlala sibe na 2 seasons simiswe i-COVID.
Chairman of the Hoho Regional Football Association, Nadia Shonga, says they will ensure that they remain one of the best regions in developing the future of the country's stars in the game of football.
And loko kwente ibhola yakaHoho yatshintsha lo nyaka sibone idlalwa isezingeni elisetulu. The speed lesidlalwa ekhathi groundini sikhule kakhulu.
Sineke because we are partnering with you as Hoho.
Kumbu Dlamini, who is from Hub Utility Stores, highlighted that committing themselves to football for a 4th year has become one way to introduce themselves better to the community.
It's still our honor and our privilege to continue partnering with Hoho Football Association.
The tournament will be played by all leagues under the Hoho Regional Football Association. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabisum Sonera, Mpabane.
Eswatini Boxing Association has received 100 packs of boxing equipment from the president of International Boxing Association, Omar Krimlev. The Eswatini Boxing Association President Webster Kele says 70% of the equipment will head to different clubs who have mostly been struggling with training sessions due to the lack of enough equipment. Lukele received the equipment during the recent African Boxing Federation's annual general meeting that was held in Algeria.
During the recent annual general meeting by the African Boxing Associations Federations held in Algeria, the Kingdom of Eswatini received 100 packs of boxing equipment from International Boxing Association President Omar Kremlev as one way of assisting African associations to develop themselves in the sport.
As an association, how will we distribute those things? We're looking forward to see.
Eswatini Boxing Association President Webster Lukele says 70% of the equipment will be handed mostly to clubs who are struggling from proceeding with the activities due to lack of enough equipment. Lukele says the other 30% will head to the association in assisting of hosting tournaments like the national championships. According to Lukele, the equipment is expected in the kingdom by September this year. Lukele concluded wishing all the best to the boxing duo Zweli Dlamini and Thabiso Dlamini ahead of their journey in this year's Commonwealth Games that begin this week in Birmingham, England. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, pictures sourced from website Kele.
That is all we had for tonight, but before I wrap up, we'll take a recap of today's headlines. The Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Princess Kanyeso, says with the National Archives and Records Service Bill of 2020, the Kingdom of Eswatini will minimize the fraudulent use of government resources. The Deputy Prime Minister's Office, Eswatini Foundation, as well as the World Vision Eswatini, have pumped in 4.2 million emalangeni towards the Child-Headed Household project. The Minister of Housing, Princess Melane, has applauded the government of Taiwan for their continued support in Eswatini. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin tonight. Up next is the weather forecast for selected towns. Good night, Eswatini.
It's time to rethink the cost of education with Africa's leading business school. Region Business School is offering high certificates for only 10,000